Indiana Jones and the Lost Treasure of Sheba. Written by Rose Estes. Read for you by Daniel Estes. Friends, welcome back. In our last adventure, George spent a chilly night in the mountains, surrounded by hungry lions and prowling hyenas. The next day started well, but Squint and his suspicious companion returned, dampening their spirits. After giving them the shake, George and Indy made their way to Lalibela, only to find it filled with fascists. They had a choice to make: blend in with the pilgrims or risk standing out and trust that the fascists wouldn't start trouble with the Americans. It seems that George was bold enough before. But this time, let's play it safe and blend in with the pilgrims. Keep a low profile and try to blend in. It's time now to continue our quest for the lost treasure of Sheba. We joined a long line of pilgrims who were winding their way through the central courtyard of the churches. At the head of the swaying line were high priests, dressed in robes of vivid reds, blues, and purples, embroidered in gold. Walking behind them were large, muscular men who shielded the priests with brightly colored gold-fringed parasols. Horns and flutes wailed loudly, drums pounded, and sweet-smelling smoke hung heavy in the air. "Follow me, kid," whispered Jones, as he drew even with the largest of the ancient churches. We ducked inside. "Now what?" I asked. "Let's check the place out," said Jones. We checked high and low, without success, until Jones found a trapdoor behind the altar. Seizing a fat candle, we descended into the darkness that lay below. It was creepy. The flickering candle barely lit our way through the low, narrow passage, and I kept hearing noises. Suddenly, Jones stopped. "Hold the candle," he whispered. "I'm going to go around the corner to take a look." Jones crept forward and turned the corner, leaving me all alone. Then I heard him cry out in surprise. I stood there clutching the candle, trying not to panic. What had Jones seen? Then I heard excited voices, and he reappeared. With him was my father. We laughed and cried until Jones broke in. "We can celebrate later. Why don't you tell us what's going on, Roger?" "It's pretty simple, really. The fascists have been following my work on the diamond laser, but they had no source of diamonds. Then they read the article on Sheba's treasure and came and got me. I was foolish to write about how diamond-rich the treasure's supposed to be, but I never thought." My father sighed. "You haven't told them anything, have you?" Jones asked sharply. "Oh, of course not," said my father. "I've given them some incorrect specifications, and it will take them a while before they realize it. As for the treasure, I have them digging trenches outside of town. There's nothing there and never has been, but they don't know that." "Then how come you're down here?" asked Jones. "Told them I wanted to check out another site. There are a couple of guards upstairs waiting for me. They're too scared to come down, and I haven't discovered another way out. But I think the treasure's down here somewhere. This area is much older than the churches. It wouldn't surprise me if Sheba used it as a burial catacomb." "Well, what are we waiting for?" asked Jones, and off we went through the dark corridor. It twisted left and then headed down, spiraling deeper and deeper into the earth. The farther we went, the more I wondered if we'd ever get out. I was about to suggest that we turn back when Jones found it. It didn't look like much, just a faint square outline in the ceiling. Jones picked me up, and I found the latch, and I pushed the trapdoor open. I don't think I'll ever forget my first sight of that room. Even in the candlelight, it sparkled and glittered. There were casks of diamonds, rubies, emeralds, sapphires, and other precious gems. Gold and silver and ivory were piled to the ceiling. We ran our hands through the gems, lifted the bars of silver, and gasped at the beauty of the jewelry. "I never thought any further than this," said my father. "What do we do now?" "Well," said Jones, "as I see it, we have two choices. We can pack up some of these gems, bribe your guards, and make our escape. Or we can take as much as we can carry and look for another way out." Having been reunited with his father, George finally has the treasure he came looking for. What, however, should they do with the treasure of Sheba? Should they bribe the guards and attempt to make their escape? Or should they stuff their pockets and try to find another way out? Adventurers, this decision is yours. Choose wisely.